If you've ever had more than a casual relationship with a narcissist or another energy-sucking vampire, you know that these people can really drain your energy reserves. But what if you could spot these people just after a quick conversation? Imagine how life-changing that would be. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly what constitutes an energy vampire, and you'll have 6 foolproof ways to spot that energy vampire right away, so you can get yourself out of that situation before it drains you. All right, so what is an energy vampire? Sounds awful, right? Well, it is. If you've ever had a relationship with a narcissist or an emotionally abusive person, you know how awful it can really be. But here's the thing. When we talk about energy vampires, they're not necessarily always narcissists, although they always have narcissistic tendencies. So they might not have a personality disorder, they might have some level of empathy, but they're really only out for themselves. When you talk to this person, they don't really care about what's going on with you. They just want from you. They want something. And it could be different depending on the energy vampire, but they want something. It's your attention, it's your pity, maybe it's your admiration, or maybe it's some drama that they're stirring up in this conversation. So again, energy vampires could be narcissists, could be sociopaths, could be people with other personality disorders, or they could be plain old selfish people. But no matter what they are, we want them out of our lives. So here are some of my best tips for spotting an energy vampire. And I can tell you, I have encountered my fair share. They're actually pretty easy to spot when you know the signs. All right, so let's get started. Number 1, you look for a dead stare. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that they're staring at you, but look in their eyes. Do they have light in their eyes? When they smile, particularly, if it's something that should be a genuine smile, let's say if they're laughing, or if they're just, you say something and they smile back at you, and it seems like it's a situation where it should be genuine, but it looks fake, it might be because their mouth is smiling, but their eyes aren't. And this is something that I have seen with people who have very narcissistic tendencies, highly narcissistic tendencies, to the point where they're likely personality disordered. I think there are probably reasons for it. I'm not going to go into any of my theories now, but I've seen it among quite a few people. And I've also heard it from others who have encountered the same thing. So it's definitely a sign to look out for. If you see this in someone and you're just meeting them for the first time, it's a red flag. So there are other reasons why someone might have that look in their eyes, that dead look. They might not have light in their eyes. They could be dealing with severe depression. So it may not be a reason to just completely turn your back on this person, but it's definitely a red flag. So look for other signs. And if it's somebody who you are not really sure you want in your life anyway, then just walk away. Okay, number 2, look for the victim mentality. Is this person always playing a victim? Now, in a first conversation, you might not know what they're always doing, but try to pay attention to how they describe situations. Did they have a really tough childhood where they were victimized and they're very eager to tell you about it? Were they victimized by an ex-wife, girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, husband? Were they victimized in their past relationships? You wouldn't believe what this crazy person did to me. Or maybe it was a job or a friend. If they're telling you right away about these stories where they were the victim, that is also a major red flag that this person is an energy vampire. Now, everyone has a story, and not everyone's story is sunshine and roses, right? But emotionally healthy people don't need you to feel sorry for them. So even though they may eventually tell you a story where it pulls at your heartstrings because it's a little bit sad and maybe it's something that really happened. You want people to be honest with you and tell you about their lives. But the difference is with an energy vampire, with this type of personality, it's almost like they're eager to tell you. They want you to know, they want you to feel sorry for them up front because they're going to play on that for the rest of your relationship if you let them. All right, so the third way to spot an energy vampire is to look for signs of exaggeration. Do they exaggerate a lot in their stories, or does it seem so? Does everything they say about themselves seem a little bit off? Maybe they exaggerate to make themselves look good, or maybe they exaggerate to make themselves look like more of a victim, but they're saying stuff that's kind of a little bit unbelievable. So look for signs of exaggeration. That is another sign of an energy vampire. Number 4, is this person a one-upper? You know the type. You have a story and then they have something to top it. And then you tell another story and they could do you one better. Just wait. These types of people are very often energy vampires because they need to be the center of attention. They need to be the one who has the greatest pain or the greatest pleasure or the biggest accomplishment. They always have to beat you at whatever it is. Number 5, does this person listen? I mean, really listen. You know how it is when you're talking to somebody and you can tell they're just sitting there waiting for the chance to speak? This is the energy vampire personality. Now, sometimes there are times when we're really excited about the topic of conversation and we might just do this, but it's not consistent and we know we're doing it, right? So we're going to curb it at some point. But an energy vampire, that is the basis of their personality. They will often monopolize the conversation and not listen to what you have to say. These people will often also talk over you. So look for that as well. Number 6, the final tip I have for spotting an energy vampire is just the general feeling that something's off about this person. You may not know what it is, and that's often why we overlook it. Maybe it's just like a social awkwardness, or maybe it's just something, it could be their eyes. It could be something missing from their eyes. There's just something, your intuition, your gut is telling you that something is off. Now, if you continue a relationship with an energy vampire, there's a good chance that your intuition is going to suffer. And I have a video about that. That should pop up right here. If you're interested in learning more, I highly suggest you watch it. But when you first meet this person, your intuition is probably telling you something's wrong, and you'll regret not listening to it. So if something's off, trust your gut. So now I've heard some really interesting stories about energy vampires, and I have a question for you. If you've encountered one or more people like this, I want to know where you met this energy vampire. Was it an online dating site, or at work, or was it at the gym, school? Let me know in the comments. So now that you have all my tips for spotting an energy vampire, I want to give you my best tip for repelling them. And it's so simple. All you have to do is say no. Whatever they want from you, don't give it to them. You can be polite, but don't give it to them. And if they persist, stand your ground. See what happens. One of two things will happen if this person is an energy vampire. 1, you'll repel them completely. Immediately, they'll walk away. You're not worth their time because they can't suck your energy. So they're gone. On to the next, right? Better for you. Or 2, you'll see them throw an adult tantrum. And those are always fun, aren't they? Now, as people, we generally try to avoid things like that. We avoid those uncomfortable situations. So if you sense that somebody is going to do that, you'll naturally try to avoid it. But if you really want to tell if somebody is an energy vampire and get them out of your life fast, you have to do it. Just rip off the Band-Aid. Make it uncomfortable. You can be polite, you can be nice, but don't give them what they want, whatever it is. Your time, your attention, whatever it is. Tell them later, another time we can talk about this, not right now. See what happens. So if you like this video, let me know by hitting that like button. Subscribe, and be sure to share it with anybody you think might need this message.